Everybody talks about things that you should not spend money on if you want to become wealthy. Don't spend money on clothes, don't spend money on vacations, don't spend money on cars, don't buy a big home. But today, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to talk about the things you should splurge your money on and things that I like to spend my own money on. What's up, everybody? I am just Rethink from the revolutionize.com, where money minds rethink rich. Building wealth comes down to really 3 steps. You have to know how to live below your means. You need to know how to spend less than what you make. Number 2, you need to know how to grow your money. And number 3, you need to know how to spend your money. Most people, when they're trying to become wealthy, get stuck on number 1. They get stuck on, how do I spend less money? How do I cut back on my expenses? How can I find an extra penny by not spending a penny? But that's a very limiting mindset, because at the end of the day, there's a limit to how much you can cut back. There's a limit to how much you can squeeze out of your expenses. There's a limit to how much you can save, but there's no limit to how much you can earn. And if you want to earn more, that way you have more money, that way you can build wealth, you need to also know how to think a little bit bigger. Knowing how to live below your means is very important. We have lots of videos on our channel where I talk about that. Knowing how to grow your money is important. That's how do you spend your money? How do you attract more money? How can you earn more money? These are things that we also talk about on our channel. But today, I want to focus on the spending side. How do you spend your money smartly? More specifically, I'm going to be going over 5 places that are worth splurging your money on. Before we get into that, I need you to do me a quick favor and smash that thumbs up button below. And if you're looking for some more Minority Mindset, we just launched a brand new Minority Mindset news channel where our host Nathan goes over the top finance and business news every single day. That way you can stay on top of what's going on in the financial world. If you want to check out this YouTube channel and subscribe, I'll put the link to how you can see our Minority Mindset news channel in the description below. The first place that I splurge is in my own education/growth. This kind of relates to what I talked about earlier on in this video, but the way I look at business is different than most people look at their finances. The way I look at my business is, let's say that this is my business's income. This is Minority Mindset income, and this is our expenses. Now, when most people look at this, what they think is, all right, if we want to make more money, let's see how we can cut back on these expenses. How can we make the expenses here, that way now we have less expenses than we did before, so we have bigger profits? What I'm trying to do is different. What I'm thinking about is, how do I take my expenses from here and take them to here? I want to grow my expenses, because the whole idea is now when we grow our expenses, I'm investing back into the company. This might be hiring more people. This might be investing in more software, investing in more infrastructure, investing in more things that are going to help us grow. That way we can take this from this to this income. So we're working to reinvest in our growth, hiring more smart people. That way we can grow bigger instead of just trying to pinch pennies. Because at the end of the day, a penny saved is just a penny. Even if you don't have your own business, you can do the same thing with your own personal finances. Hire people that are smarter than you to help you manage your money. This means hire a good accountant. It really bugs me when people have their own business or they're making good money and then they say, I don't want to hire an accountant because I don't want to pay them $2,000 a year or whatever the cost is for an accountant, because I can do the accounting myself. Well, yeah, sure, you can go on one of those free softwares and do your free accounting yourself, but the reason why you're paying an accountant is 1, so you get your time back, that way you don't have to do all of this work yourself, and 2nd, because you're paying for their expertise. I went to law school. I'm a licensed attorney and I studied a lot of tax. And here in my office, I keep a copy of the Federal Income Tax Code. And this book right here is just over 2,000 pages long. So an accountant is specialized in knowing how you can pay less money in taxes. If you want to know how you can pay less money in taxes, one of the easiest things you can do is not to go out and memorize this 2,000 pages, to pay somebody who does it for a living. You need to have a good accountant. You need to have a good attorney. I know these things cost money, but the whole reason why you're investing in these things is so that way you can have more money, right? You're trying to grow the pie. You're increasing your expenses. That way you have a bigger pie, because now you're investing in the right people. That way you can keep more money for yourself. You don't want to be cheap when it comes to hiring the right people that are going to help you make more money. I used to be a real estate salesperson back when I was in college, and I helped this one couple find a home. It took me forever. It took me months and so many properties that we went through. And then when it came time for us to finally make an offer on the property, they said, Jaspreet, we'll make an offer on one condition: if you lower your commission. We want you to put half your commission into the deal because we don't want you to make all this money. The reason why that is a broke mindset, not just because it was me that wasn't getting paid, is because when you are trying to stiff people and be cheap on people that want to make you money, Well, what do you think is going to happen when it comes time for them to find you a good deal? Do you think somebody who's a real estate agent is going to come to you first, or are they going to go to somebody who pays them on time and who pays them well? If these people, your real estate people, your accountants, your attorneys, know that you're taking good care of them, guess what? They're going to take good care of you. When I sell some of my real estate properties, most real estate agents will make a pitch and they're going to say, hey, yeah, we will sell your property. We just want a 5% commission or a 6% commission. When most people hear that, when the majority of people hear that, they're going to say, okay, can you do it for 4%, or can you do it for half of that? Because they want to keep more money in it for themselves. They're thinking, how can I make this smaller? How can I squeeze more pennies? The way I look at it is a little bit different. I'll say, okay, you want 6%. How about this? If you sell the property for above asking price, I will give you 7%, or I'll give you a 7% flat fee. And if you sell it for above asking price, I'll give you 8%. The reason why I do that is because now when they are selling their 4 different properties or 5 different properties that they're marketing, guess which one they're going to push more? The one that's giving them the bigger commission, because they know that I'm taking care of them. That one scarcity broke mindset is keeping so many people back from becoming wealthy because they're so scared of other people making a profit off of them. Look, I love it when people make a profit off of me, because that means I'm getting some value in exchange for the money that I'm paying. Now, if somebody's just scamming me, no, of course, nobody likes that. But I love paying for things that give me value, because now my goal is to expand the amount of money that I can make by hiring the right people, paying the right people, and getting the right value out of it. This also goes for education. Invest in books, read books from people, even if you don't agree with them. Start learning, start expanding your mindset. Buy classes. I spend thousands of dollars on classes every single year. Go to seminars, hire coaches, hire people who are smarter than you to help you. Now, I get it. People are skeptical of hiring somebody else or hiring a coach or paying for a class because they're scared that it's going to be a scam. They're scared that it's not going to work for them. And that risk is always there. There's a chance that this class or course or coach or whatever that you're buying is a scam. But there's also a chance that it will work. And now you have to be the person that will put in the work, that will learn. If you are not the person that's gonna learn from what you learned and do something with it, then don't waste your money on these classes. But if you're willing to take what you learn and apply it to your life, then it's worthwhile for you to invest in some of these things. Just make sure you're investing in something reputable and something that's credible. If someone's marketing a class on how to make 6 figures in 60 days with their secret system, chances are that's a scam. What I'm saying is, if you want to improve something, if you want to know how to improve your taxes, if you want to know how to improve your investments, if you want to know how to earn more money, if you want to know how to start a business, learn from people that are doing it. Buy books, attend courses, attend classes, attend seminars. Do things where now you are learning from people that have done it. Don't just copy them directly, but learn from them. That way you can apply what you learned to your own life. Because if you are just constantly trying to pinch another penny, you are never going to become wealthy, because it's going to take you forever to penny your way to millions. That's why I want you to focus on growing your expenses that right way. That way you can increase your education, you can increase your knowledge, and you can increase the resources around you with the right people. That way you have the right team. That way you can grow your income. If you're not willing to invest in yourself or pay yourself, what makes you think that anyone else is going to be willing to pay you? This brings me to the second thing that is worth splurging on, which is your health, and not just your physical health, but your mental health too. The absolute best kind of health insurance that you can invest in is not any private marketplace health insurance. It's a gym membership and healthy food. This is the only body that we get. This is the only opportunity that you have at living, so you should take care of your body. That means eating healthy, that means exercising, and that means taking care of your mind. I used to be one of those guys that used to walk around saying that, oh, depression isn't real, it's all in your head, anxiety is all fake. And then after I lost a good friend of mine, and after I have seen other people almost take their lives right in front of me, I started to learn more about mental health and realize how important it is. If you are not feeling good, if you feel depressed, if you feel anxious, if you have these sort of mental health issues, take care of it. If you are not happy, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you make $10 million a year. You're not happy. So invest in your own mental health. Spend $20,000, check yourself into rehab if you need to. Go out and get a therapist. Go out to some meditation seminars, go to some meditation conferences, do whatever it is you got to do to take care of your mental health, because if you don't, this is gonna stop you from achieving any sort of happiness and success in the world, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you're miserable, it means nothing. So take care of yourself. That also means stop eating like crap. Now, I'm not saying never eat ice cream, never eat any cake, never eat anything bad. but for the most part, eat healthy. Like what I'd like to do when I'm at home, I try to eat very healthy. And then when I go out with my friends, then I like to go out and just eat because I love food. I try to exercise every single day. My goal is every morning that I wake up before the sun gets up, that way I can go for an hour and a half walk. It's about 5 miles. I get my walking steps cardio in the morning, and then later on in the day, I'll go to the gym and that's where I'll go lift. The best health care that you can have is proactive care, not reactive care. And the issue is that we live in a society that is built around the microwave culture and popping pills. We want to eat what's convenient. We want to eat what's cheap. We want to eat what's easy. You can just put it in the microwave and put this processed food into our body. And now when you got issues, what do? You go to the doctor and you start popping pills. But the issue with that is you're just treating the symptoms. You're not treating the cure. So if you want to take care of your health, you got to be healthy, and you need to start being proactive with what you're putting in your body, what you're doing with your body, and the way that you're thinking. The third thing that I invest in is my time. When I was in high school, I was always that guy that was late, fashionably late as people call it. When I went to class, I was usually late. When I went to a party or a wedding, I was late. And I was very fortunate that in my senior year of college, I by chance was accepted to this business internship where I was interning with this very successful business owner to learn about how he runs his business. Well, I didn't really understand the meaning of being on time because I was always late to everything and I never had any experience with business. So when he said come to his office for the first day at 9 a.m., I got there around 9:05 a.m. thinking it's right around 9 a.m. Well, I learned my lesson pretty quickly because he then chewed me up in front of everybody. I mean, he publicly just destroyed me, talked about how I was wasting his time, how if I'm not taking him seriously, I should just leave right now, that if I'm ever late again, I should just not come, telling me that I need to value his time because he is a successful business person. And at first I was like, oh man, I didn't realize that it was such a big deal. But that's when I started to really value the importance of time. Because time is the one commodity that we cannot get back. There's two things that you need to understand about spending money to get your time back. One is when it comes to your business, where you want to be spending your time doing the things that only you can do, and you want to hire other people to do things that they can do. That way you have more time to do things that you like and do things that produce the most revenue. And second, you want to be using your time in a way that's benefiting you instead of just spending all of your time doing things when you don't like doing the things that you're doing. Like if you look here at the minority mindset, I don't write our newsletters that go out every single day. I don't write the blog posts on our website. I don't edit our videos. I don't publish our videos. We have other people on our team who are good at what they do, who are very smart at what they do, handling each aspect of this. I come here, I come up with video ideas, and I record the videos because this is what I like doing and this is what cannot be replicated. You gotta figure out what's most important to you and what's gonna give you the biggest bang for your buck, and then you wanna spend your time doing that instead of spending all of your time doing all the other ancillary things when you can hire somebody else to do that for you. That way now you can get your time back so you can do more of the things that make you money. But even if you move away from the financial side of things, you wanna be spending your time doing things that you love because your time on this earth is limited. So instead of spending all your time doing things that you hate, like mowing the lawn or washing your clothes or cooking food, once you get to a point, you gotta value your time. Hey, if your time is worth $20 an hour and you can hire somebody else to do the things that you hate for $15 an hour, then it's worthwhile for you to hire somebody to do the things that you don't like to do. It goes back to the same pie example that I was talking about a little bit earlier, because a lot of people get caught up here. They think, oh, if I pay somebody else to do something, that means now I'm gonna have higher expenses and then I'm gonna have less money that I can use to invest in myself. But what you're not looking at is the opportunity to do this, to grow your pie. I see this all the time with newer real estate investors. They say, why in the world would I pay a new management company 10% of my rent to manage a property when I can just do it myself? Because now, if I'm renting out a property for $1,500 a month, my management company is going to take $150 every single month when I can just spend my time to fix the toilet when something goes wrong. I can spend my time dealing with tenant issues. I can spend my time making sure the bills are paid. And then I can just keep the extra $150 in my pocket. Sure, if you do that, your expenses are not going to grow, but you're also now going to be losing more of your time because now you have to spend your time doing all of this management stuff. And now you got to decide, what do you want to be? Do you want to be in the management side of the world, or do you want to be in the owner investor side of the world? You got to decide, where is it do you want to spend your time? Me, I don't want to be a manager. I want to be an investor and an owner, so I spend my money, that way I can get my time back. Fourth, I like to spend my money on things that last instead of just buying band-aid fixes temporarily. Let me start with the financial side of this. If you go out and you buy an investment property, let's assume that you're buying a single family home, and the single family home has a roof that's getting old. Sometimes a roofer will come out and they'll say, okay, if you want me to replace the roof, it will cost you $4,000. But if you don't want to spend that $4,000 right now, what I can do is I can just put another layer of shingles on top of the roof, and it'll only cost you $1,000 or $1,500. So you get to save more money in your pocket today, thinking that you put a band-aid on the issue, but you didn't actually fix the issue. Because then once this newer roof goes old, because when you put a new layer on a roof, it doesn't last as long. Now you have to pay to remove the second layer of the roof and the first layer, which is now going to cost you even more to fix than it would have if you just took care of it the first time. This is one of the reasons why I like to work with licensed and insured contractors who work on my rental properties, because I want to work with people that know what they're doing, that are going to do a quality job for me and my tenants. Because if they don't, then I'm going to have to pay the price 2 times. Because now I'm going to have to pay the price to fix or redo what the first contractor did. And then I'm going to have to pay the price to actually fix the issue. This was a lesson that I learned very early on in my real estate investing career, because in the beginning, I was working with cheap contractors. They didn't cost me that much money. But in the long term, these cheap contractors were very expensive because they didn't actually fix the jobs that they were working on. They just put a band-aid on. And then when I had to actually fix the issue, now I had to work and pay money to remove the band-aid, and then I had to pay money again to actually fix the issue. So it ended up costing me twice as much, because now I had to pay somebody good to come in and fix the first contractor's mess in the first place, and then they had to come in and actually fix the issue. So if you're looking on your income or investment or financial side of things, it makes sense for you to invest in things that actually last, because now, yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit more money today, but it'll save you a whole lot more money in the long run. You can apply the same logic to pretty much everything else in life. Like, I just bought a new mattress for my home, and I spent a lot of money. It was somewhere like $4,000 or $5,000 on this mattress, because I wanted to have a nice mattress, because one, it's going to last, and second, because it's good for my back. You don't want to be waking up every single day with back problems. So I wanted to invest in a good mattress where I could sleep good, wake up, feel refreshed, and not have to worry about back pain. Now again, it's a balance. Don't go out into credit card debt just to buy a $5,000 mattress because you think you're going to get a better night of sleep. Find a used mattress. Find something that doesn't cost as much, that still gives you good value, right? You got to work with what you've got. You got to find a way to afford the luxury that you want, but that doesn't mean that you just need to go out and spend more money that you got, or use it as an excuse to just go out and blow money because you want to have something that lasts. You gotta be smart here, know what you can afford, and then find the luxury within what you can afford. And the fifth place I like to splurge is my own personal luxury, and this is what you gotta figure out what's important to you. Some people like fast cars, some people like big homes, some people like going on fancy vacations. Me, I like when I travel, especially internationally, I like to travel comfortably. When I really started to see some financial success, the first luxury splurge that I made on myself was buying a business class ticket when I flew from home to India. Because growing up, I used to go to India pretty often. And when I would go to India, I would always sit economy. And you would always go past these like really big seats. They had these like lights on them. They could recline. You could turn them into beds. And then you would go to the economy seat and you'd be sitting there like this, like a sardine for 18 hours. You can't lay down, you can't really move, you can't turn because you got a stranger sitting to your left, you got another stranger sitting to your right, you can't even extend your legs. You got just this little bubble that you can sit in, and you gotta sit there for 18 hours, and even if you wanna go to the bathroom, you feel really awkward waking up the person that's sleeping so you can get up and go to the bathroom. For me, that was a struggle that I hated dealing with. And in terms of financials, that was one of the things that kept driving me to become financially successful, because I hated sitting in economy class on these long international flights. And as soon as I sat in business class and I saw that now there's a personal attendant that will come and serve you food whenever you want, and they're sitting there giving you warm towels, and they give you this big cushiony seat where now you can recline and you kind of have your own cubicle, you can have your own laptop out, you got a bigger TV, you can do anything you want in your own space. That's when I realized, wow, this is what I've been working for. You have a lot of people out there that make very dumb arguments about money, and they say things about why you should not spend money on anything. A first class ticket and an economy ticket go to the same place, so why spend 5 times more on a better ticket? Well, because one's a whole lot more comfortable than the other. Now, the important thing here is you gotta make sure that this personal luxury are things that you can afford. This is what the whole money management, understanding finances and having a financial system and investing your money and growing your money is all about. You need to know how to become wealthy, and once you have this wealth, you gotta figure out where it is that you wanna spend. Because now the issue that some people have is they just assume that, oh, I have money in my pocket, I need to go out and spend money because I have money. The reality is, if you do that, that's a direct ticket back to being broke. You need to know what's important to you. what personal luxuries are important to you and be willing to spend on that once you achieve that wealth. Because the last thing you want to do is be one of those people that now you become wealthy, you have all this money, you have the income, you have the investments, but now you're scared to spend because you don't want to part with a penny. Now, I know it's hard to let go of that money because you work so hard to get it, but the reason why you work so hard is not just to have a whole bunch of numbers in your bank account, it's to be able to buy what this money gets you. And so you got to figure out, what is this personal luxury for you? What is it that you want? And now once you achieve that success, be willing to go out and spend that money on yourself. That way you can enjoy the hard work that you have put in. If you like what you saw so far, then you're gonna love this. Let's talk about money for a second, okay? Because the majority of people are spending their lives chasing money, but they have no idea of how money really plays a part in their lives. So money, this cash is just paper. This paper honestly has no value unless you use it. That's what people actually want. It's not the money that people really are after, it's what money can buy you. But one thing that so many people get confused and why so many people are miserable is because they don't understand how and when and why money plays a part in their lives. Money is important, okay? We are not one of those theoretical channels that just talk about things that don't make any sense in reality because you need money in order to survive. Anybody who tells you money is not important is either broke or they're delusional. Money is what buys your kids clothes. Money is what buys you food. Money is what puts a roof over your head, and money is what buys your car. Now, while money is important, it is not the only thing that matters in life. And this is where so many people get confused because they don't really understand where and how much to value money in their life. Let me draw you a little triangle. I call this my quadruped theory. This quadruped triangle really will help you understand how money really plays a part in your life. So this you could think of kind of as, what are the building blocks of living a happy life? Because at the end of the day, the goal is to be happy, not rich. If you are rich and miserable, what's the point, right? But at the bottom of this quadruped triangle is physical fitness. If you want to live a good life, the very first thing you have to do is be physically fit, okay? If you are on your deathbed, if you are so morbidly obese that you cannot live your life, if you are not physically healthy to the point where you cannot live your life, nothing else matters. If you're on your deathbed, it does not matter if you have $10 million in your bank account. It does not matter. When you are sick, when you are hurt, the only thing that you want is to be healthy. When you are healthy, you can have a million desires, you can have a million missions, you can have a million dreams, and you can work towards these things. But if you're not physically healthy, nothing matters because you can't even start working towards these things. So the very first thing you have to do, if you want to be able to enjoy money and enjoy your life and live happy, is you have to be physically fit. If you are physically fit, then you can start moving up this quadruped triangle and move to the second building block, which is mental fitness. This is something that is now starting to really get some attention, which is good news, but mental health is a real thing, okay? If you are not happy, if you are miserable, if you are depressed, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million in your bank account if you are depressed and miserable, because you won't be able to enjoy it, okay? The first thing you need to do before you can get there, after you're physically fit, is make sure you are mentally fit too. Surround yourself with people that love you. Work on things. Find things that make you happy. If you are not happy, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You are not going to be able to enjoy it because you are not mentally healthy. Now there are resources available for you out there. If you are really depressed, you have a lot of anxiety, you cannot live your life, talk to a therapist. There are resources for you out there. But if you are not mentally fit, you will not be able to enjoy money or enjoy your life. Okay, this is why everybody says money can't buy happiness, because a lot of people are hurting right down here. They think, oh, I have this void in my life. I am not happy, but if I just had $1 million, then I'd be happy. And then you get that $1 million and then you realize, oh, I'm more miserable now than before, because money fuels you. If you are unhappy, more money is gonna make you more unhappy. Once you are physically fit and you are mentally fit, then you can move on to the third block, which is spiritually fit. Now, being spiritually fit doesn't mean religious. Being spiritually fit means having a purpose in life. What is the reason you are on this earth for? Why do you get up every morning? What is your purpose? That's what being spiritually fit is, okay? So once you're physically healthy, you have a good life, you have a good body. Once you're mentally healthy, you have a good mind. Now you can work on finding your purpose. What is your reason for being on this earth? This is what being spiritually fit is all about. If you do not have the spiritual fitness, then you are just kind of just flying through the world like a plastic bag. You don't know why you're here and you don't have a reason to get out of bed. But if you have a reason to get out of bed every single morning, Now you have this drive to just conquer the world. And this is what helps people live that happy life. If you don't have the spiritual fitness, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're gonna feel like you have no purpose in life. Once you're physically fit, and then you're mentally fit, and then you're spiritually fit, that's where money plays a part. Everybody says money cannot buy happiness because they assume that people are going to make money here to either make up for the lack of spiritual fitness, the lack of their mental fitness, or the lack of their physical fitness. This is where money cannot buy happiness because, yeah, you cannot use money to make up for a void in one of these things. And this is what so many people try to do. They think, oh yeah, I'm not healthy, but if I was rich, things would be better. Or, yeah, I'm not happy, but if I was rich, then I'd have more friends. Or, yeah, I have no purpose, but maybe if I'm rich, I'll feel like I have a purpose. But that's not how it works. Money and financial fitness helps you here. It helps you be financially fit, nothing else. That's why if you want to live a great life and you want to live a rich life, you need to understand how money plays a part in your life and where money plays a part in your life. Because in order to really enjoy this money that you have, you need to make sure you have the building blocks first. I can't tell you how many people I know, and I'm sure you know people like this too, that are lacking either here or here. They are not happy in their life for one reason or another, or they feel like they have no purpose, yet they're sitting here chasing money, just trying to get more money, thinking and hoping that having more money will compensate for these two things. It doesn't work like that. I'm sure you've heard of people that are rich, millionaires and billionaires that are miserable. Well, why does that happen? It's because they're lacking here, here, or here, and then they're trying to use money to make up for the other parts of their life. Having more money helps with the financial part of your life. That's it. And then once you do have more money and you have these building blocks, then you can use this money to amplify these things. You can use your money to improve your physical fitness. You can use your money to do more things that make you happy. You can use your money to help serve your purpose. But if you don't have these things, then this money is just going to help amplify that void because money is fuel. It amplifies who you are. If you are a bad person and you are miserable and you have more money, now you're going to be more miserable and you have a tool, this money, to do more bad deeds. If you are a good person and you're happy and you have more money, now you have a tool, this money, to do more things that make you happy, and you have a tool to do more good. Our brand talks so much about financial education because the reality is money does play a part in our lives. Yeah, many of us don't understand where or how, but money is important. But at the same time, many of us are never taught how to use money and understand money the right way. And in our culture and society, it's just almost like taboo to talk about money. It was the same way for me. When I was growing up, I was always told, don't talk about money, don't worry about money, don't think about money like that because it's bad. But I was also told to go and become a doctor because for my parents and a lot of my family, the richest people that they knew and the most successful people that they knew were doctors. So they assumed, okay, if you go and become a doctor, then you'll be able to become successful and then you can live a great life. But things just didn't add up for me. If money doesn't matter, you're not supposed to talk about money, why do I have to go and become a doctor to earn this high salary when money isn't that important? Many of us create these smoke screens in our lives. We say things like money doesn't matter, or don't talk about money, or money is bad because we don't have money ourselves and we don't understand why we don't have it. And so we just say, oh, don't worry about money, as kind of this smoke screen to cover up our financial issues. We need doctors. But I realized that I was going down this medical route, pre-med route, when I was in middle school and high school and college for all the wrong reasons. You should become a doctor because you want to be a doctor, not because of the salary. That's just one of the perks of being a doctor and having the value that you have. That's when I had to start asking myself, okay, how do I get that doctor financial freedom? Because everybody thinks doctors are financially free and rich when there's a lot more to the story than that, but that's what everybody thinks, right? And that's what I thought too. How do you get that doctor financial freedom without being the doctor? Oh, you just work on the financial freedom. That's when I dove into entrepreneurship and I started an event planning business in college because I thought, okay, now if I make this money, I can work towards being financially free. The problem was I didn't like what I was doing. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm not into the party business, but I was hosting parties every single week. And a few years into it, I got burned out. The business was making great money, but I just didn't like doing it. The business failed, but I did it. Yeah, we made good money, but beyond that, I learned a lot. I learned how business worked. I learned how to get customers. I learned how to sell. I learned how to market. And even more importantly than that, I learned how money really plays a part in our lives. Life is like a cake and money is the icing. if you are not happy and you're miserable, it doesn't matter how much money you have. The icing, okay? If you have a bad cake and you try to slather it and cover it up with a whole bunch of icing, the cake is still gonna taste like crap because the cake, the life is miserable. But this is where things get interesting, because if you have a great cake but no icing, the cake is still not as good as it can be because the cake is going to be dry. Money is still a part of the life. You still need the icing on the cake. You can be physically fit and mentally fit and spiritually fit, the first three things in the quadruped triangle. But if you don't have money to pay your bills and eat and do things that you love, you still can't live the fulfilled life. Money is fuel. It's a tool. It amplifies who you are. If your goal is to feed hungry people and you only have $100, you might not be able to feed that many people. But if you want to feed hungry people and you have $1 million, now you can feed a whole lot more people. And if you want to be happy and live your life to the fullest, you need to have money, but you also need to have the physical fitness and the mental fitness and the spiritual fitness. That way money can amplify your life. That way you can live your life to the fullest. This is really the core of financial education. Yeah, financial education is all about using your money the right way and investing your money and growing your money and earning more money. But at the core, if you do not understand how money plays a part in your life, that way you can live the best life possible, what's the point? Remember the building blocks: physical fitness, mental fitness, spiritual fitness, and then at the top of it is financial fitness. You need to have the bottom building blocks before the financial fitness can really amplify your life. Now, once you get to the financial fitness part of your life, that's where it's all about learning how to use your money and invest your money and grow your money. And if you do want to learn more about that and how you can use your money the right way, we have a free ebook on money management and investing that you can read for free when you sign up for our financial education emails, which are also free. You can get a free ebook and start reading our financial education emails by clicking the link up here or by clicking the link in the description below. By the way, our financial education emails are separate from our financial news emails. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, here's a video on things you need to do when you get paid that I think you love. And while you're at it, download our free guide on how to start generating passive income. And as always, keep hustling. If you do not have $2,000 saved up for an emergency, you are in financial danger, okay? Before they used to say, oh, all you need is $1,000 to start your savings account.